Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, I haven't met you yet, but I'm sure we'd be friends. If you don't know who I am, my name's Heather and I am a professional viola player living and working in the UK primarily, and I make videos just about career and performance, lifestyle and everything that comes along with that. I think there are so many things in this industry that just aren't talked about, and they really should be, because we all go through them, and I want more and more people getting into this, because classical music is something that can so easily be seen as a dying art, and that is just so far from the truth. So yes, most rambly intro ever, but you know, you get the picture. Today is going to be a little bit less structured, I guess, than I would normally want a video to be, just because it's something that has just kind of been swirling around my brain a lot over the past few months, really, in many ways, but especially over the last few weeks. Lockdown starting to ease has meant that many things are starting to open up again. We're seeing weddings start to happen, we're seeing the recording studios opening up, and that is obviously hugely exciting, and this video is an overall positive one, I guess, but it's starting from the point of view of all of these things can lead us on to feel a new level of career FOMO. And FOMO, for anybody who doesn't know, is just fear of missing out. So when you see somebody doing something and you're like, oh, I wish I was doing that. I think freelancers in any industry experience this. I mean, everybody experiences this, but let's stay in our lane as much as we can, because our industry is built of people getting opportunities, going out and getting themselves work, putting yourself out there, advertising what you can do, all of that kind of stuff. So when you see somebody doing a really, really cool job or getting a really cool opportunity, sometimes it can be so easy just to fall into the trap of, oh, like, I wish I was doing that. Like, why didn't I get that? What could I have done to have gotten that, or whatever? So I just think it's something that we just need to open up the conversation about, and maybe have a bit more of a chat about what we've found helpful in dealing with it, being honest about when we've experienced it, because everybody does. I will promise you now that that person who you think is absolutely killing it, and they probably are absolutely killing it, all good, but they will get FOMO. They will look at somebody else's Instagram post or thing on their website and they will get FOMO. So it's worth saying that from the very, very off, is that the reason I want to talk about this and make a video about it is because everybody gets it. I have really struggled though with how to sort of approach this subject, because I'm very, very well aware that as somebody who puts a lot of my career on social media, I put a lot on my Instagram, I talk about it here, I could very, very easily be seen to be perpetrating this whole problem of seeing other people, you know, doing different things and then that making you feel bad. But I also kind of feel like this gives me a little bit of a platform to talk about it, so I hope you will forgive me for broaching this subject if you do feel like it's something that maybe is a little bit hypocritical for me to say, because obviously if I do get work and gigs, I do post about it. So that's my little disclaimer out the way, just because I can just, you know, I get it, I do get it, that when somebody who says, oh, I'm gonna, you know, talk about this subject and how it's a problem for everybody, can also kind of be perpetrating it. I do get that, so yeah, I hope you will forgive me for still wanting to chat about it. For me, I think the real interesting thing over the past few weeks has been, is anybody else finding having some work so much harder than having no work? Which I know sounds bizarre, because I am hugely grateful that the studios are opening up and things are happening. I've benefited from those, you know, those things happening, which has been wonderful. But I think there was a certain element of lockdown where nobody had any work. So therefore, you know, I didn't feel bad about not having any work, because yeah, nobody did. So it wasn't my fault that I didn't have anything to do. You know, I could get properly stuck into snuggly at-home life and it was all good. Whereas now, I think because things are starting to happen, this chronic overthinking that we as musicians have, we're taught to analyze our playing to the nth degree, to analyze our social interactions with people that could be good contacts for us, all this kind of stuff. And I think it's just kind of woken that beast up again a little bit for me, for sure. I do think the next few months are going to be really, really tricky mental health wise, and please do take care of yourself. I want to keep saying that as we go through this. But you know, some weekends or some weeks you'll be working, some weeks your colleagues will be working, and I do want to make it very clear that I think the overwhelming great thing is that work is happening. Stuff is happening. We are going to be okay. There are so many people out there at the moment just pushing all the really horrendous stats out, and to those people I do want to say, please think about it before you do that. Is posting that actually going to be helpful, or are you just going to make people feel rubbish? I'm not saying that we need to put our heads in the clouds and just say everything is sunshine and rainbows, because it's not. Things are going to be tough. There are going to be venues that close down. Some already have, and that's really, really hard, and we need to be fighting against those things. But yeah, just think before you start saying that we're all doomed and the industry is never going to recover, because I, for one, do not believe that is true. I think that we can get through this, but that is going to take all of us pushing forward and making ourselves heard and basically saying, hello, we're still here and you lot have missed us. Which is also kind of nice, because there has been a lot of interaction with non-musicians and people that, you know, come to the shows, come to the concerts, and they've really, really missed us. So take heart from that, because I think sometimes it can feel a little bit like people don't really appreciate it or know what goes into it, and I think that's something that actually isn't the case as much as we thought. Now, around about now, I would normally be putting some slide across this video with a little title of the next thing I was going to talk about, which should hopefully be some really helpful advice. And I am going to do that. Maybe not with the slide. I don't know. Like I said, this is more of a chit-chatty video, so feel free to put me on in the background whilst you do something else. But I did want to be really, really honest and say that I have not dealt with this very well. Over the last few months, I have really, really struggled with having a career that I love just taken away from me. I really, really struggled to find other things to fulfill me in being at home and not being able to make music with my friends and my colleagues and just all of those things that really bring me joy. And it's, you know, one of the reasons why I started to put a bit more effort into uploading on this channel more regularly and all that kind of stuff, because, you know, I have the time to, and it's a creative outlet, which is wonderful. So thank you for watching this and enabling me to do that. However, over the past couple of weeks, I feel like I've had a little bit of a breakthrough with it, just because I have taken some of my own advice and actually talked to people about it. I've been messaging quite a few people in my industry, good friends whom I trust, and chatting to some family as well, and just asking them what they think about it and what they do. And they've come up with some really, really useful points and helpful tips, which I hope will go a long way to helping you as well. Now, one of my friends that I chatted to brought up the fact that her family don't necessarily understand. They don't understand the industry, and the classic question of, but why aren't you playing in the proms yet? And now, don't get me wrong, I am very much intending to play in the proms one day, but questions like that can often be just little jabs at the most sensitive point of a musician's soul. So if you are a family member or a friend of somebody in the creative industries right now, please be gentle with them. Be understanding that they have literally had their worlds ripped out from under their feet, and they are just starting to get back into things. Little things are starting to appear, and that is going to take time. So if you do see concerts happening, which, like I said, you know, it's amazing, but don't ask them why they're not in it, because they've probably asked themselves that exact same question so many times, and it's really not helpful. So be gentle with them, be supportive, ask them what else they've been up to. Don't just ask them about work. I think it can be really hard at the moment when everybody's sort of saying, oh yeah, you're starting to get back into work a little bit, and you might be like, no, not really. And then, you know, it's a bit awkward and it's hard to know what to say. So yeah, be gentle with your creative friends, because this has been really, really tough on everybody on a level that none of us could ever have predicted. So just Maybe ask them about other things, and if they have posted about something, great, ask them about that. I'm sure they'd love to chat to you about how amazing it was, how exciting it was, how great it was to be back at work. But don't ask them why they're not doing things, because yeah, it's not a helpful question and you're probably going to do more harm than good. The next thing is that social media is a highlight reel. We know this. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, because for me, I actually really struggle when I follow people who just sort of post about the hard stuff. You know, Instagram especially is the place I go to sort of chill out, have a bit of a laugh and watch some funny doggy videos. But it is also the place that I tend to post when I've done a gig or when I've had some work come up and I think it's kind of quite cool and it's worth sharing. And I've mentioned before that I use Instagram basically to document my career for my own sake. You know, it's really cool to look back on and be like, oh, when was that thing? Or, you know, at this point in my career I was doing this, and then at this point in my career I was doing this, and that can be really, really cool. And sometimes, you know, you do kind of want to say, hey, I did this really cool thing and I'm really excited about it, and that's totally okay. So for the person who's consuming the social media, I think it's just so important to know that you're in control of when you do that. There are some days where I know for a fact that if I see somebody doing, you know, a gig or whatever, I won't actually really be that happy about it, you know? I'll be a bit jealous, or I'll get a bit like, oh, great, well, good for you. You know, and that's not helpful for me, that's not helpful for them, and it's not nice. That's not actually what I'm like. It's just a gut reaction, it's an emotional reaction, and you're just there like, no, I am happy for them, and then you kind of beat yourself up because you feel like you're being mean, and it's just not worth it. So for me, on those days, I just don't go on it. I have two Instagram accounts. I have kind of a personal one and I have a work one, and I have that for a very, very specific reason, and it's to separate the two things out. If I'm not particularly having a great day and I don't really want to look at all the really cool things that people are up to, I don't go on my work Instagram account. I just go on my personal one, which I primarily follow my friends who maybe aren't musicians, or the little cute animal accounts, and I just enjoy that space. And then chances are the next day I'll be like, yeah, I'm like feeling quite good and quite positive today, and you know, I'll check out what other people are up to and I'll be able to comment on it or message that person and totally genuinely be able to say, I'm so happy that this is happening, good for you, congratulations, whatever it is. I want to be able to be sincere in that. So yeah, that's my main thing with social media, is that you're in control of it. You do not have to look at it if you do not want to. Right, I think I'm going to finish this video there. Thank you for sticking with me if you have made it this far. I appreciate that this video would have been quite rambly and a bit brain dumpy, but I just wanted to kick off talking about this a little bit more, I guess, and just kind of let you know what my thoughts are, and I hope that that has been comforting in some way, shape or form. And like I said at the start, I do just want to be a voice that says that we are going to get through this and we're going to be okay, because I do truly believe that. I'm not just saying that to be, you know, upbeat about the whole situation, because there's a lot that isn't great and that is going to be really, really hard, but we will make it out of this. And this industry will survive. It has survived through everything, and at the end of the day, people need us. They need that escape and they need that joy that music and the creative arts bring. So stick to your guns wherever you are. I miss seeing everybody and making music together, and I think we all do for sure. So hang in there, you've got this. If anybody makes you feel bad about not working, then just tell them where to go and send them this video and I'll tell them as well. If you have enjoyed this video, then please do like it, subscribe to my channel to see more, and I will see you guys next week. I will be better at uploading every week. I promise. I've made a schedule and everything. It's going to be beautiful. So yeah, stick around if you'd like to see more, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so, so much. Bye guys. If you've made it this far and like you're still paying attention, then I'm really impressed. Put glittery eyeshadow on today and it's just making me really happy. Can't remember the last time I wore glittery eyeshadow. Probably when I was about 6. Still recording, that's why. I was like, why won't it take the picture for the thumbnail? Because it's videos.